This is pretty funny. Jordan Peterson.
You have a no. Let's say
Jordan Peterson had a fire take on non-binary people, okay? And it's so incredibly funny because he's like, I don't like MBs because I can't be immediately misogynistic to them, which I think is such a funny take. I love this man, dude. Sometimes he comes out of the gate swinging. It's so good. He's got the AirPods on. He can't hear you. He's going to tell you how he feels about non-binary people, and you know he's going to find the stupidest way shit on non-binary people. always on the verge of tears, of course. Non-binary people, what is this? Them be? What do you say, Themperor? He didn't say that. He said this instead.
let's say you have a non-standard gender identity. Okay, what the hell are other people supposed to do about that?
Yeah.
Like, what are the rules here, right? Because if you're a woman, I kind of know how to treat you. I'm going to do it in a stereotyped way to begin with because I don't know who the hell you are. So
it's so funny. Like, he just immediately, dude, no one asked him to, he volunteered this information. He's like, I'm going to be misogynistic. I'm going to see that you're a woman and say, oh, are you being hysterical? Are you crying? Are you looking for your rolling pin on the way to the kitchen? You must not, why are you not bare feet and pregnant right now? That's what I'm going to say, because I know you're a woman.
So I'm going to use, low resolution approximations, and those are going to be stereotypes. They're no different than categories. And then when I get to know you, I'll particularize it. But
I love, this is literally, by the way, this is a justification for bigotry. Like, Jordan Peterson accidentally reveals that he is a bigoted person. When I see a woman, I don't go, oh, this is a woman, gotta put on my woman response. It's just another person, dog. Like, I'm not even being, like, over-the-top woke with this, okay? Because, like, I sometimes say misogynistic shit as a joke, as a meme, whatever, right? Like, it's so stupid. Like, what do you mean? You're just, like, literally, like, the reason why I mentioned that is because, like, I'm not exactly the best feminist on the planet, okay? But it's such a psychotic thing to just reveal, to be like, yeah, when I see a woman, immediately I'm like misogyny mode. And then once I get to know you, then I'll treat you like a person. Why is it that so much of conservatism unironically just is basically about describing being a bad person as a virtue? Think about it. So much of conservatism, literally, especially social conservatism, revolves around being like a fundamentally bad person with bad manners, okay? And behaving that way as a mark of bravery and as a marker for like dignity and being a virtuous person. He literally just described, it's vice signaling. Yes, conservatives love virtue signaling and then claiming that other people are virtue signaling, but he's vice signaling. You're right. That's so good. No, I can't be polite. Society will not coerce me to be polite. I'm a asshole. When I see a woman, I think Dragon of Chaos. I think of my grandmother's pussy hairs. And I think of what that means to me. That's real. I wrote that in a book. Look it up. Jordan Peterson talks about his grandmother's bushy cush.
I saw my maternal grandmother sitting by the bank of a swimming pool, which was also a river. Her genital region was exposed dimly. It had the appearance of a thick mat of hair. She was stroking herself absent-mindedly. She walked over to me, with a handful of pubic hair compacted into something resembling a large artist's paintbrush. She pushed this at my face.
That's the best part. Grandma, stop pushing your bush at my face.
I raised my arm several times to deflect her hand. Finally, unwilling to hurt her or interfere with her any further, I let her have her way. She stroked my face with the brush gently and said, like a child, "Isn't it soft?" I looked at her ruined face and said, "Yes, Grandma, soft."
So Jordan Peterson so far has described why it's hard, non-binaries for him, because he doesn't know if he can be immediately misogynistic or not.
and those are going to be stereotypes. They're no different than categories. And then when I get to know you, I'll particularize it. But if I don't know whether you're male or female, what the hell should I do with you? You don't know, because you don't know what the rules are.
What? What do you mean? What do you mean? What are the rules? First of all, what are the rules? Like, what rules? It's just like, be polite. It's no different. It's no different than like someone being like, this is my name. If you don't understand, ask. Be like, hey, what are your preferred gender pronouns? Okay. What rules, you sons of bitches? I mean, literally, what rules? What is he talking about?
So the simplest thing for me to do is just not do anything with you. The simplest
Okay, that's actually kind of goated though. Like, so what? He just says he's deflecting.
thing for me to do is go find someone else who's a hell of a lot less trouble and who's willing to abide by the social norms enough so that they don't present a mass of indeterminate confusion on immediate confrontation. And then,
Yeah, that's great. I love this. So many things make him cry. It's pretty funny that one of them is just like being confused by the existence of NBs. Anyway, let's just move on. Here, Joe Rogan claimed the other day that there are no examples that show Elon Musk is a right-winger. So I couldn't resist responding. Here are several examples in just 60 minutes from me.
Time for what I call my 60-second rant. This week, Joe Rogan, who wants to believe he's a contrarian, said something very strange and demonstrably false in defense of Elon Musk on his podcast.
I hear people in LA, I hear people that I know, like, oh, Elon's just so crazy. It's like something happened to him. He went nuts and he's a right-winger now. Like, how? What are you saying? Like, what examples do you have? Like, they don't have an example.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, there are a lot of examples. There are a lot of examples, Joe. Give me just 60 seconds. Start the clock. Elon Musk has spent the past 4 months since he bought Twitter replying to and amplifying the most far-right conspiratorial anti-vaxxer white supremacist accounts on Twitter. He has spent the past 4 months since he bought Twitter restoring the accounts of actual neo-Nazis and Holocaust deniers, as well as Kanye West, some of whom, including Ye's, he later then had to suspend again. He gave Trump his Twitter account back. He trolled Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. He trolled Democratic Senator Ed Markey. He rails against a woke mind virus. He says his pronouns are prosecute Fauci.
He literally said he's a right-winger and like advocated for right-wingers. Like the only reason why Joe Rogan doesn't want to recognize that Elon Musk is a right-winger is because Joe Rogan himself is the same type of dumbass right-wing guy who tries to claim like, oh, well, I have a lot of unique positions actually, but I also love DeSantis. That's it. That's the reason why Joe Rogan would, of course, have a very hard time understanding or claiming that Elon Musk definitely is right-wing, because in America, a lot of people, especially people that are like in the culture or want to be in the culture, can't openly say they're right-wing. It's like, bro, he's a billionaire. What do you mean? Every right-wing ass shit that happens in society is a consequence of every billionaire. I don't know how many black charities, let's say, Jeff Bezos, how many black cash apps Jeff Bezos sent money to. He's still a right-winger because he's a billionaire, okay? There is no left-wing position. There are no left-wing billionaires. Like George Soros is the closest, and that's why everyone always says like George Soros is a left-wing socialist billionaire. It's like, no, idiot. He's not. He is a liberal, okay? Liberalism is still inherently a right-wing idea because it revolves around the protection of private property. Its entire society is designed around said protection. It's built upon enclosures. Richard Branson is? No, man. No. There's no such thing as like a left-wing billionaire. There are no anti-capitalist billionaires, okay? Maybe in the future. I don't know. With the way that like wages works for insane like sports contracts or whatever, actors maybe, but no.
He spread a homophobic conspiracy for a fake news website about Paul Pelosi and the vicious attack on Paul Pelosi. He doesn't like regulations. He doesn't like high taxes. He doesn't like labor unions. He hung out with Jared Kushner at the World Cup final. He hung out with Rupert Murdoch at the Super Bowl. He advocated for Kevin McCarthy to be House Speaker. He went to Kevin McCarthy's office on Capitol Hill to wish him happy birthday in person. In fact, he was Kevin McCarthy's VIP guest at his Republican fundraising retreat in Wyoming last year. He said he's leaning towards Ron DeSantis for president in 2024, right-wing Republican Ron DeSantis. Oh, and he told his more than 120 million followers on Twitter on the site he owns to vote Republican just last November. Yes, vote GOP, he literally said. But no, Rogan's right. Musk's not a right-winger. How could you possibly think that? Up next, being a child of immigrants doesn't automatically make you an advocate for immigrants. Just ask Nikki Haley.
Nice. It's so funny that like a guy who literally said, please vote for Ron DeSantis, the Republican candidate, is actually not a right-winger.